Right. O ka tēnā tātou kātau. Now mai hane mai ko te kai tēnā hui o ki puara o Puri o Kāwhia. Welcome to you all, greetings to you all, and welcome to the Kāwhia Community Board meeting. First one, 2026. I'd just like to welcome, of course, our Mayor, Rodney. Thank you very much for coming along and seeing how it's maybe done. And with Councillor Joe Butcher. Thank you for coming along. And of course, Dave, the policeman, thank you. And of course, the public forum. I love seeing people there. Okay, so thank you. Welcome all. Welcome back. Karakia, please. Remember.
Karakia tātou. Nā te whakapō, nā te tūrunako, nā te titiro, nā te whakarongo, maitahi, te maua, nā te aroha, te taia, te tātou. Amen.
Good. I'm moving on to the public forum. Now we've got a busy public forum today. So Daryl's his issue's been resolved. So Daryl's sitting and watching now, but we've still got 4 members, and to give everyone a fair crack, I'm going to I'm going to have to run it fairly tight because I'll have to run a little timer. And if you don't need your flights, please come down, okay, please. And then the board members will ask you questions if they've got any questions. And then there's no more, we'll get the next guy in. Okay? I'd just like to explain to the board members why you might have seen in the list some familiar presentations coming through with the rules of standing orders on public forums. Then you know, one of the things that you've got to be careful of is it's repetitive on the same subjects and things like that. So particularly, you know, with the Horahori with the beach access is more than Horahori doing, you know, normal beach access. Horahori's got some important things, news messages to pass on today. Okay. Vanessa, good point with you. Okay. So the subjects will be of your Horahori, Kelly, Vanessa, Daryl's not there anymore. Malcolm, Malcolm only asked yesterday to come in. Now that was outside the 2-day window, but when I found out what the subject was, I bent the rules a wee bit because it's to do with the fire risk from the forest, and that can't wait till next year. Okay. Now Kelly with the hall, Kelly's presented on the hall before, but it was when a different organisation was running the hall. We had the hall committee running then, and now we've got they resigned, and now we've got the council running the hall. And yes, there are some issues, and I'll acknowledge the issues, but it's they're not issues created by the council. It's, you know, it's the community that should be keeping this place clean. It's just like the barbecue out there. Okay, and I was so proud when I posted that little photo with my opinion barbecue, and I got over 180 responses. That's damn near half the population of Kāwhia agreed with me. You know, if you provide community, if you're provided with community services, look after them. That's all we ask, eh? Right, starting, and bear with me because we're having so many, and I want to give you all time to do it properly and broadcast properly. I'm going to run a little ding dong bell going here, and when you hear the first one go off, you've got a minute to go. If you don't want to, if you feel you can get your point across inside 5 minutes, you know, give me away. Okay, all righty.
Ia rā, mea tuatahi me mihi atu ki a koe te whakamātua, nau mai ki tō mātou rohe o Kāwhia. Nau mai, haere mai. First of all, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to thank you for allowing, or bending the rules to allow me to speak. Nā me huri au ki oku tuahine, ki a koe hinga, kei te nui te aroha ki a koe. Now, kia koe ane, nau mai ki tō tūru, I runga I tēnei whāri, nau mai, haere mai. Okay.
You can sit down.
I prefer to stand up because what I've got to present. I'm here on behalf of the Onepu Charitable Trust, and the Onepu Charitable Trust represents the owners of Makatu D2, B2 and Makatu E, Makatu E. The reason why I'm giving you this is because we, Orepu, is giving notice to the Kāwhia Community Board that after we have spoken to Women's Welfare League on the 23rd of this month, and also to TKI on the 28th of this month, we are giving you notice that as the owners, the legal owners of the two properties that I have mentioned, we will be blocking off and not preventing all vehicles on the beach past our property. The property that I'm talking about is the 20K sign, which is at the end of the seawall, Makatu Mara. That's where we will be stationed because that is the beginning of our property. We will go into Te Arai or Te Wiwani, and at the top, at the entrance into Ocean Beach, it is that small area there where we will be blocking. Sorry, I forgot to take my USB in to get the photos printed off. But I'm sure that you all should go through Te Arai or Te Wiwani. There's a small gap, and that's where we will be also stopping people coming into the lagoon. The reason why we are stopping all the vehicles coming into Te Arai or Te Wiwani is because our seabed. This is the most important thing to us, is the seabed where our kai moana is. Now, this photo was taken last year, and you're all aware that in total there were 7 vehicles that had got stranded within that area of Te Arai or Te Wiwani. Now, I've marked, I'm not sure whether you can see, but I've marked the area there in black, and that is the seabed of our kōpita, where we had the vehicles driving over our seabed. So that is number one reason why we are stopping the vehicles. The second reason is, and which is very important to us as well, is the destruction of our dunes. We plant and we have vehicles coming in. Now, this photo here was taken in 2018. This photo here was taken on Monday when Monty and I did a beach patrol. The same thing happening. We warned people about the destruction to our whenua, and nothing has happened. There is proof there that 2018, the vehicles going into the dunes, and just on Monday, the same thing is still happening. So that is number 2, the reason why we are preventing and putting a stop to all the vehicles. And I must also say that on the 13th of March, every year I always present to our pokai and tell, well, now it's our queen. I used to tell our king what was happening. This year, on the 13th of March, I will be announcing the date of the weekend that we will be stopping all vehicles except the emergency and the beach patrol going onto the beach out to Te Arai or Te Wiwani. In saying this, what is it, we in our patrol we went right into Aotea, and we were looking at doing the vehicles out on Ocean Beach. But at this stage, it is obvious that only 4-wheel drives can come along into Ocean Beach from Aotea. I was on the side by side and I found it quite difficult because I was on the slum. So, and coming from Aotea, I don't think we've got a problem. So, There, Mr. Chairman, that's my report.
Thank you.
So on the 13th, we will be announcing at the our Queen date that we be seating. Okay?
Absolutely.
Is that what I did?
No, well, I've got some
My
questions.
5 minutes up?
Yeah, well, you know. No, but just before, if the members have got any questions on this, I've got one. And
Yep.
It might be so it was about the date, okay? But you've answered that, so you'll announce that March the 13th. Will that date be a couple of weeks of that side, or will it be in the same month, or there you'll close? Now, it's only a 2-day closure, isn't it? Educational closure,
Mr. Chairman, what I said was a weekend.
a week and 2 days.
I did not state how many days. Okay, and that I won't be announcing until the 13th of March.
Any other questions?
And,
Sorry.
yes,
Oh, sorry, just one through you, Madam Chair. How are you intending to block it, Daisy? Are you going to be putting concrete blocks or trees, or what's the?
yep. We've already worked out, this area here, if you're aware, it's not very wide for on the beachfront where the vehicles have got to go past. This is where we are intending to block off. But in saying that, I'm yet to confirm with the Māori Women's Welfare League that as educational volunteers, they will be giving out leaflets explaining to anyone that wants to come onto the beach and why they've been stopped. They will be told the reasons for our kai moana and the destruction to our whenua. Okay? Anything else? Yes, Richard.
Well done. Question, private property, your private property,
Yes.
but you are still going to allow people to walk through? Is that my understanding? You are only stopping
We're
vehicles?
stopping vehicles. As the law stands, or the ruling stands, we have got to allow pedestrian. That we have got no problems with. It's only the vehicles that we are stopping. Koromātua?
Answers as well. Fully understand. Yeah, is that all, Bobbers? All righty?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Right, the next, Kelly. Kelly's doing a, her condition book. Now, what will happen, we will, at the end of this board meeting, if there's anything that we can resolve, we won't be discussing it during the meeting. We'll get together as a board after the meeting and sort some things out, okay? If there's anything that needs sorting out rather than waiting until the next meeting, okay?
I prefer to, but could I go so? I'm here to raise concerns about the condition of the Kāwhia Community Hall. For the higher fees being charged, the standard of the facility is simply not acceptable. The hall is often dirty and filthy. Hirers are expected to clean before use of the hall. Toilets are run down and cleaning equipment is not fit for purpose. The fridge is only a mini bar fridge, doesn't cater for large groups, which we clearly, being Māori, have quite a few people. And the equipment is not fit for purpose. General maintenance is long overdue. These issues make it difficult to host community events, but we make do, especially for elderly children and large groups. Each time we hire the hall, we are required to clean it before use, yet the hall is consistently handed over in an unacceptable state. Floors are often dirty and filthy. Windows are mostly corroded and quite hard to shut down this 7-8 foot tall. There are also several safety usability issues. No safety rail when walking up the stairs to go to the stage. Proper lighting, poor lighting. Toilets are old and need attention and are not always clean, and there's no proper facilities for women's purposes. Cleaning equipment is outdated and needs upgrading. And these issues make it difficult and unsafe to host community events. Like I said before, I also want to clarify on funding. When the previous caretakers handed over, there was reportedly a significant amount of money left. I would like transparency around where that money has gone and why it has not been used to upgrade these facilities. In addition, I recently catered for a birthday function at the hall. I was the last person to leave and to make sure that the hall was spotless for the next group. However, my cousin who hired the hall were later told that they would not receive their bond back, with claims that we had been smoking in the hall and the hall was left dirty. This is simply true. This raises concerns about how bond decisions are being made and whether hires are being treated fairly. Overall, it feels unreasonable to charge current hire fees. Hires must clean before they use the hall. Facilities are deteriorating. Safety issues remain unaddressed. Equipment is inadequate and bond refunds appear inconsistent or unfair. We are asking council, I'm asking council, to carry out a full inspection of the hall, address urgent maintenance and safety issues, upgrade cleaning equipment and basic facilities, provide transparency on hall funds, review hire fees and bond processes, ensure fair and consistent treatment of all hirers. This hall is meant to serve the community. The community is paying for a facility that is not being properly maintained. And I'm quite passionate about this hall because my grandfather helped to fundraise for this hall and build it. So, kia ora. Thank you. Hang on, Kelly. Oh, sorry. Go.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
That's a very comprehensive list.
Thank you.
And are you able to provide us that list?
Yes, I am.
Great.
And I wrote an email to,
We have that.
yes,
You got that?
and I have more.
Because there's a lot of things in there that are fair and square and we need to address.
Thank you.
Okay?
Ngā mihi.
Any other
Come on.
meeting?
Kia ora.
Oh, I will address one.
Right,
It was $47,000 left in the account.
yes,
That's used for maintenance. There's some serious maintenance coming up.
thank you. This is a whole lot of, I don't know if they fixed it.
Oh, there's some serious
Then
maintenance.
yes,
So just to clear that one up,
Thank
it's,
you.
it's there, it's accounted for, and it's all up.
Thank you.
You're- Oh, hang on.
Yes.
Thank you. Kelly, thank you. Vanessa, you want to sit down or stand up?
Thank you.
Vanessa is presenting on the pruning at Kemp made on the northern side of Kāwhia Street coming into Kāwhia, okay? And I know you're passionate about trees, Vanessa, so there you go.
No, kia ora. Thank you for this opportunity. On the 16th of December, I came home from Mahi and because I live just down the road from the Seascape camping ground, and I was quite shocked to find that some of the beautiful natives opposite the camping ground had been destroyed. And when I say destroyed, they were literally ripped from their branches, like the money that had been done was done very poorly, and I was very disappointed because those natives were just starting to thrive. They were just coming into their own, and what disappointed me the most about that was that prior to the road before these and after these natives, no trimming was done along that area. So it affected some taupata, kawakawa, karaka, lacebark, hoheria, the karamu, and it just, yeah, and I was quite shocked at the job that was done, and I just think that it could be done better. They'll take a long time to recover from that, and that's just through, for 8 years I've had the nursery here in town, Kāwhia Moana Native Nursery, so yes, I'm very passionate about natives and trees in themselves, but just the mahi and the way that this was done was unacceptable, and if in the future, could it be done to a better standard, and a bit more care taken, because those natives were planted over 20 years ago and they may not even recover from this. And right where it is, it's so horrible when you drive into town and that big ugliness is right there, because it's also opened up what was behind it. Erosion from coming down the bank, the old natives, what was behind it.
My point is that if it could be done better, I'd really like that. Thank you. So, yeah, thank you very much.
I don't think there'll be too many questions from the board on that, because I think, okay, well, you know, I was shocked when it came in. Okay? And I'm agreeing with you. Next time it's noted, and I think a little bit more care around those things. Any more questions from board members?
Just more of a statement. I don't know whether you've been on State Highway 31 lately, but I was travelling on there today and they had one of those roadside mowers absolutely destroyed the vegetation around Te Ramoa Road. And what they're doing is they're using a roadside mower, but they're putting it on an angle and they're just getting through it. So it's a real butchering of a job. But that's the contract, isn't it? That's not necessarily the council's, but the council does have some control over what's in that contract. So I'm pretty sure that it's going to be raised. Yeah, so we certainly share your concern.
Does the council have control over what happens within our borough, like inside our area?
Absolutely.
It could be just done with Devon. That would be good.
Yeah. No, good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Welcome. Now, Malcolm, this is another one where I've made my chairman's discretion on this presentation with the 2-day thing. When Malcolm's request came through yesterday, I asked what the subject was, and the subject is the fire risk out at Tom French Grove, and that's vitally important to Kāwhia, and I can't wait till the next meeting. So the floor is yours, Malcolm.
Welcome here. Congratulations. Mr. Chair, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Definition of a hazard. A hazard is anything that has the potential to cause harm, injury, illness, damage, and potential for environmental harm. Since the beginning of time, man has been fascinated with fire. And it's just come to fruition during the summer periods. I have engaged with 3 fires, campfires down at Tom French. 3 kilometres from this community hall is Tom French Grove, under Section 8, Otaronga District Council is managing a freedom camping site and is currently a freedom camping site. This represents a breakdown in partnership and duty of care. The consultation between iwi landowners and the shareholders engaged early or directly in any decisions that affect the risks of Tonga, Whenua and community. The fire risk is real. I make a rule to my team that come 9 o'clock, we can't be there every minute of the day. And at this time of the year, our community is vulnerable. We all seen what happened down in central North Island. It takes a spark. Lucky enough, those undesirables haven't been up there frequently doing wheelies, so I can't put the blame on them. But what I am putting a blame on is directing it to Otaronga District Council. That I spoke with Mr. Chair Wayne Brewer, and he advised me that in October that he had a meeting with a board member or someone from ODC regarding signage. There is inadequate signage. It's very clear that Otaronga District Council's signage and controls are non-existent. The warning visitors of extreme fire danger adjacent to a pine plantation and to prohibit open flames. Without strong signage, enforcement, education, and the current setup creates an unacceptable emission risk that could lead to catastrophic fire impact, impacting TKI's asset, Waihatapu, Tū Marae, and the wider community. Some of the recommendations from Tainui Kāwhia Corporation is freedom camping site at Tom French due to the fire high fire risk, direct consultation with the shareholders, treaty principles, mandatory high visible signage, prohibiting open fires, and educating visitors about the forest fire danger. Just some useless information on the 31st of January, we have got our camera installed up there. I counted 114 vehicles that passed the gate. On Saturday, the 7th Pipe Fest, there was 147 vehicles from the time of 5 o'clock in the morning to 11:59. So there's a lot of people that utilise that facility up there, and all it takes is one gun spark to cause a lot of havoc for our community. So yeah, I'm just reiterating, and on behalf of TKI, the risk is real, and also they are having a meeting today with Wayne, and with their committee today, TKI, and there's a one at the end of the month. So that's what I'm posting at the moment is, there is no sign down there. TKI is doing all their due diligence and trying to make that place able for my main
Questions? I'll just start off with one. You said there's no signage down there saying no fires.
not on your behalf. As landowners, yes, we're doing everything we can in our due diligence to inform the public that they can't do it. But under section 9A, you are allowed that to happen, but you don't.
Yeah, well, I've got some council experts around me, but I've had a look at that bylaw, and barring the townships of Kāwhia, Kāwhia and Oklahoma, camping's allowed anywhere apart from road preserves, state road preserves.
So we have a traffic management bylaw, and that restricts where self-contained vehicles can go. So they must be self-contained, and that's about waste management. Because we don't have a district-wide freedom camping bylaw by default, anyone can camp anywhere. So that's correct, but we understand the issue.
Yeah, the camping, that's on you, but the fire risk, there is nothing there indicating to, we have international visitors from all over that come to the crown jewel of Waikato, is the Pupu, the bubbling waters of and we as TKI and King Country Forest Service are doing our utmost to protect our community. So yeah, all we do is, there's not enough sites.
Any further questions from board member Mahara?
Yeah, thanks, Kieran. Yeah, just a couple of comments. There was a sign down there, I understand, at one stage, but it was actually had Waitomo District Council on, and that's been raised before. And is that still there? Because it should have been removed for a start.
It's been removed.
It has. Okay.
So, yeah, if I may,
Yep.
your section 9, that's fine.
Yep.
But if you're putting people there is no education or signs stating that
Yep.
the importance of fire.
Yep. And there has been mention past me about TKI possibly closing Te Puri Road. Is that still on? Is that
Yes.
still part of your?
That's our hopes and desires. That alleviates the problem of after hours. People tend to go down there between the hours of sunset and this is neat, this light of fire. Oh.
Yeah.
But they're not aware that our prevailing wind is a southwesterly. All it takes is just a little spark, and there's no matter helicopters that are better stop a wildfire.
And all of these people out of towners, or there's some locals involved?
Majority are outsiders.
Outsiders.
Yeah.
Okay. No, very good, thank you.
Yep. Board member Mahara?
Yeah, if you were sitting on this side of the table, what would you want us to do?
Well, I know that mandate's ready for renewal, 2026 and 27. But for the time being, more sites. The council is allowing people to stay there, that's fine, can't change that. But as a forest manager, there's no signs on your behalf to say, please don't light fires. There's no signs whatsoever. The camping's fine, gas, self-contained, I'm of the age where I've been here and watching those trees grow. So I'm 50, so that's two rotations, and previously Dad's always come out, check them out. That alleviates the hassle of fires. But yeah, our dream is, what we would like to do is like any other public areas in Auckland around the country, is they have a window of an hour after sunset. Shut the gate, close the gate, then alleviates that problem. I can go there and be there an hour after sunset, that's fine, but I can't police after midnight. And if the fire goes too late, I can't save toilet.
A short time in Kāwhia, it seems to me that people are very reluctant to acknowledge signs. I'm not sure that signs are going to fix the problem, but what you've said is that what I picked up, and I might be wrong, you're saying that's designated as a freedom camping area? Is that what you're saying?
Under section 9A of the Otaronga District Council, you are allowing to have freedom campers.
I'll just correct that, Richard, it's not designated a freedom camping site, okay? The whole of the district is freedom camping, okay? Bar the towns of Aotea, Kāwhia and Otaronga. So it's not specifically there, it could be at the Aotea Tuna.
So
It's not
if
specifically
it's
designated.
specifically designate, oh, sorry, I'll have this discussion. My apologies. Thank you very much.
Now you, Malcolm,
No, I'm fine, I'm looking to get around it, I think there's some legal things we need to.
thank you. Okay, well, I think we can solve this one. Okay. Very good. Members of the public, thank you. There's some very, very important points brought up here, and after this meeting, we've got workshops, we've got some workshops where they present some solutions for other issues around Kāwhia, so we'll have a good korero around these ones, okay? And Kelly, you've given that list, haven't you? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Parahari, thank you. Okay, Vanessa, no problems. Okay, Daryl, thank you. Daryl was the other presenter, but when I came in here, he said he was all sorted. That's great. And the reason why I know Daryl, I know people say that was a subject that could have been dealt with directly with council, and it could have gone through the antenna. But I thought, right, we've got a new waste contract starting up July the 1st, and I could use this to get some of those things sorted out before that waste contract started July the 1st. So that we're going to sort things out because there's confusion up there. So thank you, Daryl, even though you didn't talk to it. Thank you. When I saw that Melbourne Rugby Club on your website, I thought, I might know you. Good on you. Thank you, Daryl. Right, moving on to late items. There's no late items. Declarations of conflicts of interest. There's nothing there. Confirmation of minutes. Community board members, you would have read those minutes, haven't you? From last meeting, I wasn't there. Any corrections? Anything in there that you no? Hey, I just like one on page 12. We just please Kāwhia Kai. There was a typo there. That was an application from Kāwhia Kai Limited, and I thought it was fairly important that we actually described that body correctly. Okay.
Yeah, I had a question on the following resolution, K8, that the letter of support would be provided on the basis that all necessary licenses have been obtained. Have they been obtained?
Well, we've been up there on that shortly.
Yeah.
So we reached out to Lucy Lou just to check the legal status of the company because the application was made under Kāwhia 500. It wasn't a registered company at the time. Before we put the letter out in consultation with the chair, there was a request to make sure that the legal entity was right, because if we're given a letter of support to Kāwhia Limited and there's not a registered company, then that might have connotations we've been tracked. So I emailed Lucy to ask for confirmation of the legal status of the entity. I haven't had a response today. So we need that we put the letter out.
Yeah, good. And given the circumstances around Lucy's family, we'll get a little bit more
Yep.
breathing space on that one.
Okay, thank
No,
you.
why I wanted the record to be accurate is that a letter from a community board endorsed by the community, powerful document, and it can be used, and if it's getting used for funding applications or banking applications for loans and things like that, it's a powerful document. And so we just need to make sure that we get our end right, and Lucy gets their end right. Okay. Anything else?
Mr. Chair, but we all agreed to that at that meeting. And we did note all of that. But I just want to say that we did all agree to that for Lucy Lou.
Subject to those.
Yes, subject, yes.
Subject, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was one other one on page 14 of the agenda. It was just in relation to the Kāwhia storyboards. Have we had any progress on that?
Progress. Frank is working tirelessly on that. So I will have hopefully I'll have more of an update at our next week in March.
Good. That was all.
Right, I'll move that those minutes be accepted as a true and correct record.
You want me to do that?
Oh, yeah, because I'll have it.
I will,
Good.
because we were both there.
Yeah.
I'll move to that.
Moved
Yeah,
by
I'll
board member
second.
Humber and seconded by board member Pugh. All those in favour? Right, carried. Good picking up there, board member Harper. Moving on to page 17 in your agenda. And it's a decision report, so we have to make our mind up about this. It's from Kāwhia, it's the endorsements of the adopted code of conduct, which generally rules around how we conduct ourselves as a board of elected members. It hasn't changed from the last time it was endorsed. I've given it a brief read through. Yeah, and I'll give it a brief read through, and I'm assuming that everyone else has.
Yep.
I just said and in Kāwhia's absence, Tony's going to have a talk to him.
So it's, yeah, thank you. It's fairly self-explanatory. So the executive summary just talked around, this is interim. So there'll be a new national code and standing orders that all councils must adopt, but that legislation isn't out yet, so this is interim. On page 18, only 5.1, so the council has re-adopted 2019 code of conduct, so there's been no changes. And if you look at page 19, there are a couple of options there, but one's kind of a placement option, really. So option one is endorse what the council has adopted. Option two is to not endorse, but it still binds the board anyway. So you do have those two options, and it's rightly been presented to you. So that's really what we'll say. We will be running a workshop after the meeting's been closed, just to take you through the code of conduct as well in more detail.
Okay. Everyone okay with that? Yep. Can I move then that the Kāwhia Community Board adopts a current code of conduct as adopted November 5th, 2019 as the governing document for all members of ADC, its committees, subcommittees, and community boards, and notes that this code of conduct will remain in force until the national model is issued and adopted in accordance with the forthcoming legislative requirements.
Sorry, can I just ask one question before you move that?
What if I said? You can.
It's to do with conflicts of interest, item 8, which is on page 27 of the agenda.
Is this the minutes of the last meeting?
Page 27, that's part of the code of conduct. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
We're talking about that in the meeting.
It may be a question that it relates to
Okay.
the.
Yeah, because if I raise it now, you'll be aware of it. So it was really just a point of clarification. In the second paragraph, it says that members will not participate in any council discussion or vote on any matter in which they have a pecuniary interest. That rule also applies where the member's spouse or partner has a pecuniary interest. I just wanted to make it clear, and Tony, you might be the one to do that, that this means that an elected member can belong to any community organisation or a club, and they do not need to declare a conflict of interest as long as there is no pecuniary gain to the elected member. And if you have a look at non-pecuniary conflicts of interest on page 35, it then talks about, it basically covers off the other aspect of that, and that is that Where is it? Sorry. Yeah, page through. It says, if there is a real danger of bias on the part of a member of the decision-making body in the sense that he or she might unfairly regard with favour or disfavour the case of a party to the issue under consideration. So there are two considerations. Either it's a pecuniary interest that you're declaring, a conflict of interest in, or it's a non-pecuniary conflict of interest, which has nothing to do with pecuniary interests. Have I got that right?
That's correct. If I can just clarify, so that's correct. There are two types of conflicts.
Yep.
On page 34, it's also loss as well as gain. So that's why it's pecuniary interest. So the wording of the code is interest deliberately, because there may be a financial loss that might affect the members voting. So it's either gain or loss. So it's with pecuniary interest.
Right. No, that's good. I just wanted to make that point of clarity. Thank you. That's all. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, sorry, it's already, hasn't this all been passed by IDC? If you go to page 17, 3.2.
So the council has adopted this.
All
All we're asking the board to do is.
I was endorsed. Okay.
Yeah. And I was just seeking a matter of clarification.
Well, going into, so I'm assuming that it'll be well looked at. You go to conflict of interest, page 27 on 8.
I'm wondering through you, Mr. Chair, we are intending to do a workshop with the mayor.
Okay.
Do you want to hold off going through detail until then?
Yep.
You can go in through.
Mine's very quickly. I'm just thinking there's personal interest, as long as you declare it, assuming that can be the same. Yeah, okay. So, right, well, all those in favour, sorry, motion has been moved by Member Mahara and seconded by Member Harper. Yeah. All those in favour?
Aye.
It's carried. Information only report, there are none. Board members update. We start with nothing to report.
Okay. Good. Thanks, Mr. Chairman. It's really just a summary of the meetings that we've had since our last meeting on the 4th of December. On the Friday, the 5th of December, I attended an opening of the Kiwi House. I think it was the Nutrition Centre. That right? Yeah. 9th of December, ODC meeting. 15th of December, risk and assurance meeting. On the 19th of January, there was a tourism Waikato, which was quite productive, and I thought some good stuff came out of that, and there's still quite a bit of work to come through and be presented back to the board. And then this week we had a elected members workshop, which yourself and board member Harper attended. I just wanted to comment very briefly on the Kite Festival last Saturday. I thought it was a very successful festival, and I just wanted to say congratulations to all of those concerned and to acknowledge the work that board member Harper and Anna Ormsby and Chris Kelly have done in staining all of the bollards and poles around the Onamiti Reserve. They look $1 million. So just if we could record those thanks, that would be great. That's all I had. Thank you. Board member Harper.
Yeah, I just have been involved heavily with the Kai Festival. I wanted to bring up something that I wanted the whole community to hear. And that was the amount of people and businesses so helpful during that time. For the first time ever, I'm led to believe we had the Ventura fishing company saying that they weren't going to hold any charters on that day. That was just fantastic. And so I think they need to be congratulated. The fishing vessels themselves, Leons, they weren't at the wharf. And although that the Dove did run charters, they had it all organised. There were no one trying to get in with vehicles. It was just great. All the community, I thought it was fantastic, and we just had nothing but help with it all. And in the past, people have gone on about conflict and all the rest of it. But I was particularly interested because Bruce Brendan told me that, to the best of his memory, it's the first time one of the charter companies decided not to have charters on that day. And you don't know how much easier that makes for all the volunteers and all the people that are involved. And so I wanted particularly to mention that, okay? Was interesting with the hall discussion. I've been coming down, trying to keep an eye on the hall, and I have to apologise to Rebecca, because once I contacted her, she was on sick leave. But I haven't found big messes in the hall, I'll be quite honest with you. And so I'm going to be interesting to see all those facts and stuff from that there in the discussion we're going to have later on. I 100% agree about the hammering of those trees, and I did raise that, and I did get an answer back to say that, you know, if we'd had road closures and all the rest, it would cost more money. But man, that was a pretty brutal pruning, I think. So I wanted to raise that. I've also still getting concerns from local people about unemployment in this town, and about how some of them feel they are being precluded from employment opportunities in the area. So I'll bring something more firm back to the board. The hub is no longer up the end of Whakaroa Street. It's got a new home. I'm unfortunately unable to tell you the address of the new home. But, yeah, I don't know whereabouts where it is. My apologies. And the one-based fishing competition that's on at the moment. I went down to the car park area today, and extremely good to see that Makatū and the boat club have still in agreement, and there were 30 or 40 boats parked in that car park that have taken them all off the roads from down there. I just think that's just another fantastic bit of cooperation between two organisations that help them and benefit Kāwhia. And that's my report.
You've not leaving a lot for me, but yeah.
No, ko tēnā tātou. Tuatahi mi hiki kia koe te mantua, Rodney, tēnei te mihi kia koe o tira tātou katoa te whainihiro o te honga, o tira kia koutou nā hitori o Kāwhia mō reira tēnā tātou. Yeah, hanging sitting underneath a cloud of sadness at the moment. Last week, my young sister, 47 years old, passed away. She struggled with cancer for 10 years. So I'm sitting here with sadness on my shoulders, and we buried her on Waitangi Day here in Kāwhia at Oparo. So yeah, I was deciding whether to come today, but I thought I'll come here, just sit here quietly and listen. But as for my reports, we did one with I was involved under Waikato Tainu with the Tira Hoi, which is a 4-day hiding journey from Waikato Iti to Te Puaha, and we had quite a few of our local marae tribal whānau that were involved in that. So that was great to see our local marae involved with the Tira Hoi, and it was great to see everybody on their journey. So that's just a little something that I'll put down. Nō reira, tēnā tātou. It's a paddle from, we start from the source of where the river starts, the Waikato River, which starts at Waikato Iti. If you go down the desert road, you turn off, and there's the source of the awa starts there. And then we paddle at Ngāti Whāua, Ngāti Tahu, which is down at Tūwharetoa. So we paddle that area, and you see the quality of the water. So it's very clean down there, but when we get up to Moose Tuako area, and we come out to Puaha, very different, the quality of the water. So it's a journey for our tribal whānau. When I say tribal whānau, I mean our marae whānau, to listen to the narratives of the haukainga of the local people, and also to learn about the quality and the taiao, which Vanessa is very passionate about. Well, we all should be, because it's Papa Tuanuku, Rangi Nui, so we all should be passionate about our taiao, but it's a journey of learning. So that was great. So that was only 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Kāwhia. But that's me.
It's a big 2 weeks for you, then, and
Yep.
our sympathies.
Yeah, that's all good. I just thought I'd come along and yeah.
Thank you.
Kia ora.
Mine will be brief. This year, we've said a lot about the Kāwhia kite, and certainly, you know, we were down at the walkway, and what an amazing feeling that whole day. And I thought about it later. I thought, look at this little Kāwhia community that we've got here, you know, and we've got, what, 400 odd people living here. And out of this community, out of that 400 odd people came up what's going to return to iconic status as one of New Zealand's Kai Festival, New Zealand's only Kai Festival, but that was in Lonely Planet. And people used to flock here to come and see that. So it was great to see that our little community of 400 can run that. And, you know, Richard mentioned one base. You know, there's these 70 boats. That entry is limited to 70 boats there. And even if they've only got 2 fishermen on, you know, there's another 140 fishermen that are out there enjoying the wine, and that's organised by our little boat club down there. So you've got that iconic event, the Kāwhia Kai, you've got the whale boat racing, you know. We just so much that this little community does. Makes me quite proud, actually. And you think of the whole order of the work, and you think of our lovely little school that we've got a quarter up there, you know. We're a smashing little community, you know? And 400 of us thrown from Aotea Harbour, and that adds a few more with Okapu and Aotea Village, and we're still only talking about 500 odd people that are pulling this little town, our little region together. And this is the crown jewel of Otaronga district. It's everything started here. Right? They didn't land in Otaronga, landed here. Right? They just give you that, bear that in mind, okay?
From 2004 to 2014, the Kāwhia Traditional Kai Festival was, that's when we were put into the Lonely Planet. Now, I just want it noted, at that time, the kaupapa of the Traditional Kai Festival was to bring back our traditional Māori kai. So all the stalls we had were traditional Māori kai. We did not allow any other like ice creams, you know, hot dogs and all that. It was to promote and to educate our whānau here in Kāwhia and the wider world. This is what we had. So we had hoo-hoo bugs, we had hangi, we had whitebait, we had mutton bird, we had, we didn't have knife and forks. My mum and dad cleaned kuku, the mussel shells for people to eat out with their kai. So we went back in time to educate and to bring back our traditional Māori kai. So I just want that noted that that's when we were in the Lonely Planet.
Yeah.
It wasn't like how it is now, but it was that was the kaupapa and the essence of why we did for 10 years, from 2004 to 2014, and Lou Sherman was a big driver in there. So I just want that noted.
Absolutely, because I can remember that was the first time I ate rotten corn.
Yeah, so we had the rocket corn, we had the carnal one.
First time I had the shark's liver.
We had Pippi, like my mum. A lot of those our old people, they were around back then, and they taught us, our generation. I learned how to do corky, the shark liver. We learned how to do the Pippi, hang the Pippi like the chewing gum, the mouldy chewing gum on, and the dried and the dried patiki. So we learned all that, and we did bring those kai back for our whānau to come and take. But that's what the draw card was. For the wider world came back to see that.
Yeah.
And we just want that noted clarification, please.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And that was the attraction, that was the original.
Things change.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. The laws have changed, the regulations have changed.
Oh, yeah, but
Yeah, prepare.
back in that time, we still had to get certificates through the fisheries.
Yeah.
Like we did everything. And also, Richard, we worked in very closely with the charter boat. So we had a partnership with them. So it wasn't just the first time we did that back then too. Yeah.
Good. And just my last one, I've done the workshop yesterday, and that's starting the ball rolling on the annual plan, which will be ratified in June, I think. So Richard, thank you for coming on. And there's another workshop next week. And Richard, if you want a carpool, me and Richard, okay? And I know I sent an email out just last month all about Kāwhia and about taking some of the road off Hangar there. And I've asked if there's anyone else wants to do it. So, and Richard's put his hand up, so I want to get a little roster going. Okay? So Richard, Hangar, do you want to do what do you want to?
No,
Yeah.
I'm happy to sit back.
Right. Richard, if you're okay doing the next one, okay? And then Hangar, you want to do that?
I'm happy to sit back. Let's get the others.
Richard, you're next year, okay? Next month. And you can have a reflection. Huh?
I had one printed for today, but I will run it past, Inga, but, I'll do it next month.
And that's all from me. Huh? But I just want to reiterate how proud I am of this little town. Huh? And the interest that we have in the public forum. There was no Taronga yesterday. Why do you allow so many? That was 1% of the population of Kāwhia turned up today to give them their view. And those 5 are as passionate as everyone here in this room. Okay? So 1% of the population of Kāwhia is how much? 4. That was a little bit more than 4, all right? How many have you got? You'd have 40. There's no Taronga. That's dirty. Board projects, I think it's right on that one. Kāwhia General Reserve Fund, that is on page 41 of the agenda.
Yeah, I don't agree with that one. Sorry. In my view, that figure of 3,500 is not strictly correct.
What one are you on? Okay.
Well, you're talking about
Discretionary fund, sorry,
Yeah.
okay.
Discretionary fund.
Page 40, yeah,
Yep.
page 42. I went to the General Reserve Fund first.
that 3,500.
I went to the General Reserve Fund.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Page 41.
Yep.
That's just information only, okay?
Yep.
And then going to the discretionary fund, which is the page 42.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, that 3,500 should be added to the carryover from previous years, so it's actually understating the amount of money that the board has in terms of its discretionary fund.
Yeah.
So the carryover should be shown, it could be shown on a separate line, but added into the current year's balance. So I'm asking that be amended for future agendas, please.
Yes, so that's correct. So I recall granted as well that there was a resolution to carry over the unspent last year, so I think that's correct. I can't tell you what that is. Okay, we can add that.
Thank you. From memory, it was less than 1,000, wasn't it?
Well, I know it's more, in total, we've got more than 3,500.
Oh, yeah. No, well spotted, mate. You didn't spot that one. Okay, there's moving on to Kāwhia Community Centre high charge waivers. There's been no further requests for high charge waivers. Kāwhia Kai, Operation Kāwhia Kai's restarted again, Annie, well done. Yeah, I see that. Getting good support from it again.
Yes.
The whole Kāwhia Water Club, the health club, are still running. They've got the yoga division, I think it's doing Monday night. I think. But the other ones with kids have gone back to the school because there's a bigger playground there. But when winter comes around, they'll start coming here again. I'll follow up with, make sure the Thursday one's still going. I know there's Jeanette Scollins, she's left, and the other driver of that was Lorraine Savini, and she moved, sold their house in Altair, so Lorraine will be going out. So I'll just check with Lorraine to see what's going on with that. Rolly Clegg still doing this?
No, Rolly Queen.
Cool. And Kāwhia resolution register.
I'll move.
Resolution is K10, adopting the community board schedule, be removed, seconded, moved, councillor Jeffries, seconded, board member Pugh, all those in favour, aye, it's carried.
Yep.
That's done. Now just remember, because you all would have gone to the back page of your agenda and see the workshop briefings at the end of there, okay? So for me, we'll Tony, you can.
Okay.
I've got to go this. We'll have a code of conduct, not be a discussion, just a general chit chat. See if things we can sort out, and we can Tony can catch it correctly and write things down about the signs and things like that. Okay. And Kāwhia boat ramp and boat class, there's been an update on that. Right. Very good, council. Board member. Right. I will just call on board member Carter.
He kare kia whakamutinga, kia tau, kia tātou katoa, kia te whai o tō tātou ariki o ihu kuraiti, me te aroa o te atua, me te whiwhinga tahitanga ki te wairua tapu, ake, ame.
Thank you. And with that, I'd like to thank Mayor Rodney for turning up, Dave, and at 5 o'clock, the meeting closed in